Obamacare is really, I think, the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery.
Before Ben Carson sought the Republican nomination for president in 2016, before receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom from George W. Bush, before he made breakthrough in neurosurgery, including the separation of twins conjoined at the head, Dr. Ben Carson grew up in Detroit's inner city. Although he was raised with very little, his mother told him to dream big. And he took this advice to heart, becoming one of America's most successful surgeons in American history. Also, the guy doesn't like going to a lot of Popeyes.
I have had a gun held on me when I was in a Popeyes organization.
My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the life of Ben Carson prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. And as I do in all my videos, I want to hear from you guys, who should I document next? And if you like this one, I've also done one on Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. Be sure to check him out. Benjamin Solomon Carson was born on September 18, 1951. His mother, Sonia, was only 13 when she married his father, Robert, who was a Baptist minister. When Ben was just 8 years old, his mother discovered that her father was a bigamist, and he had another family with other children, and he had kept it all a secret. She decided to divorce the man, but that left her on her own, and she had to fend for her two boys, both Ben and Curtis. Ben and Curtis often went days without seeing their mother, as she worked up to 3 jobs, mainly as a domestic servant from 5 a.m. to 11 at night. Young Ben had anger management issues and would often get into fits of rage. Once as a 9th grader while attending Southwestern High School, he nearly stabbed a friend during an argument. To cure himself as a teenager, Ben would lock himself in the bathroom where he would read passages from the Bible, and he's gone on to say that it cured him of his anger issues. Ben is still a big fan of the good book. He's an extremely religious Seventh-day Adventist who believes in the literal truth of Genesis. But he doesn't believe in evolution, nor does he believe in the Big Bang Theory. Nor does he watch that really awful show. I don't know. Maybe he does.
That type of organization to just come out of an explosion? I mean, you want to talk about fairy tales. That is amazing.
Ben graduated from Yale University. Initially, he was studying psychology, but he decided to switch it up and go into neurosurgery. He went through the medical school system at University of Michigan, and then he completed his residency at Johns Hopkins Hospital and stayed there throughout his career. Although he wasn't the first doctor ever to separate conjoined twins at the head, in 1987 he separated the Binder twins who were conjoined at the back of the head, and this was a breakthrough. With a 70-member surgical team, the operation took 22 hours. Both twins survived, and Ben credits his hand-eye coordination and ability to picture the brain in 3 dimensions for making him an excellent surgeon. In 2013, Ben decided to throw in his towel as a surgeon. He then began writing for the Washington Times as a columnist. He also became a news correspondent for Fox News. He also delivered a widely publicized speech at the National Prayer Breakfast, which popularized him as a conservative expert. In 2015, he announced that he would be seeking the Republican nomination to become President of America. And those hoping his medical genius would translate into politics might be a little disappointed. He received wide criticism for a number of gaffes. He said that gun control was partly to blame for the horrors of the Holocaust, despite the fact that the Nazis actually loosened gun regulations.
I think the likelihood of Hitler being able to accomplish his goals would have been greatly diminished if the people had been armed.
After a mass shooting, he said that unlike the victims, he would have rushed the gunman.
I would not just stand there and let him shoot me.
And then he talked about one time being at a Popeyes organization where a man pulled a gun on him, and then he told the shooter, the cashier's that way.
The guy comes in, puts the gun in my ribs, and I just said, I believe that you want the guy behind the counter.
Now this story, it probably never happened because local authorities, they have no record of it. Also, at this time, he was a vegetarian. So what the hell was he doing at a Popeyes? And the rest of the story? Well, hey, you guys know the story because this is Before They're Famous. My name is Michael McCrudden. Thanks for checking out my personal channel. I do all sorts of celebrity bios on here. I've done Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, as I mentioned, but I've done rappers, I've done adult film stars, I've done internet celebrities, pop idols, all that stuff. So be sure to subscribe, browse around, there's something for everyone, and I'll see you guys in another video.